Hi everyone, and welcome again to my audiovisual channel. My name is Gabriela Handel, I'm a draftsman, and today I'm going to talk to you about art degrees. Well, alright, not exactly art degrees, but whether you need an art degree. The video is time-stamped. I'm going to put the timestamps, you can find them in the video description, you can find them in the pinned comment. And also, if you hover on the line of the video where you can see the progress of the video, you can see the chunks of the sections of the video, and if you hover over each one of them, you'll see the name of the chapter, and then you can go to the beginning of it to skip there, okay? So in this video, I'm just going to discuss whether you need an art degree for certain circumstances, depending on what kind of thing you're interested in. Okay, so, do you need an art degree? The answer to the question depends entirely on what you want. What are your goals? What kind of art involvement do you want? So, what I'm going to talk in the video is a few possibilities of involvement in the field of art, of interest in the field of art, and whether those things would require an art degree or not. Okay, so let's look at those possibilities of what somebody could want. I'm looking down here because down here are my notes, because I took notes, you guys. Okay, so what do you want? Here are some possibilities. You might be interested in just understanding or appreciating art when you go to a museum or a gallery. By the way, I just recorded a video of this. I have a video about this. I'm gonna put it in the show notes and in a card. Okay, that's a possibility. Do you want to make art? Do you want to teach art? Do you want to curate art shows in a gallery or in a museum? And do you want to show your work? So these are the possibilities that I am going to talk about. Okay, so let's go to the first one, understanding and appreciating art. As I said, I recorded a video about this, and I'm going to link that in the description, and I'm going to put a card up for it. But you don't need an art degree for this one in particular, because anyone can look at art, and anyone can appreciate art. Anyone can spend time with a work of art. You want to write about it, you want to think about it, you want to talk about it, you can. Just look at a lot of art. And eventually, it will become obvious that some things are better made, well made, high quality, very enjoyable, a lot more than others. You'll be able to tell which work of art is good, which work of art is bad, what is slovenly, what is just shitty, what is lazy, what is facile, And there's an example that I think I'm going to put it in the video description about Yaron Brook talking about sculpture. I don't remember exactly what the video was about, but he has a whole ass lecture where he's talking about sculpture. And he doesn't have an art degree or makes art or anything, but he, according to him, he has a lot of experience. He just particularly enjoys sculpture, and so he knows a little bit about sculpture. So, for that, again, you don't need a degree. Another example is Anthony Fantano from The Needle Drop. He is not a musician. He did not study music. I think actually he studied journalism and something else, and I think he does play the bass, but, he doesn't have a Berkeley degree or something. But, and he refers to himself as a music nerd. And the thing is that he effectively listens to a ton of music, which is why he is able to just talk about it and give some degree of judgment on whether some music is good or bad, or, and why or why not. I particularly enjoy his descriptions of the music, and I find it very interesting that he does so without giving you samples. Like in his reviews on the YouTube, for example, he does not sample the music. He doesn't like talk to you about this song and then show you a sample. He just describes the songs, and his descriptions are really great. I actually was convinced to listen to Arga's album Mutant because of his description. And then it was because of his description. No, then I went and listened to his review of Nine Inch Nails, the Downward Spiral, and it made me want to listen to it again. And then I listened to it and I was like, yeah, that's good. Not only is it good, his description was really good about it. Anyway, so yeah, you don't need any kind of an art degree for appreciating art. You just have to enjoy spending time with art. Okay, next. Making art. Do you want to make art? You can learn to make art in several ways. You can be self-taught, self-teach, self-directed study. You can go on a certificate program. You can go to an atelier. You can take continuing education or independent classes. You can take classes, private classes with a teacher. So let's roughly cover those, okay? For self-taught and self-directed, the way I'm thinking about that, or what I understand at least by those terms, is the person learns whenever they choose on their own schedule, entirely writing on their own discipline and focus. Like you don't have a teacher necessarily, you're not going to a class, you don't have a teacher giving you feedback, that type of stuff. I've actually talked to 2 self-taught artists, or that I remember that are self-taught, on the podcast, and I'm going to link to their episodes in the description, and I'm going to put cards for them. One of them is Andy Soto, and then another one is Daniel Maidman, and I think actually Yannick Senium, I don't remember his last name. Yannick. Anyway, the Andy Soto and Daniel Maidman for sure. You can see their work, listen to their podcast episodes, accomplished artists, solo shows, all the things, and, they're self-taught. Possible ways to make art self-taught or self-directed. There's, of course, the YouTube. I'm going to put links for these in the description too. There's actually, I was thinking that this video could be like a mini resource for anyone interested. So we have, on the YouTube, we have Stephen Bauman, Proko, and Patrick Okrasinski, who have videos on the YouTube at no additional cost that you can just look at in order to learn from and study. Artists who have pre-recorded videos on their websites include Alex Sukas and Roberta Osti. This is also going to be linked in the description. Meaning courses that they have, I think these you have to pay for, but they have them available. You watch them and then you follow along, or you just look at what they're doing and then you practice by yourself, something like that. There's also undirected life drawing, meaning that you just go to a model session and then you sit there and you draw by yourself. And you can find an open sketch at the Art Student League in New York. There's going to be a link for that. And you also have Minerva's Drawing Studio Life Drawing. That used to be Spring Studio Soho. That's a website, springstudiosoho.com. So these are for self-directed. Then there's a certificate program. Now, the certificate program, you might wonder, what the fuck is a certificate program? CFA is relatively short. It can take from 3 to 12 months, from 3 months to a year. It focuses on honing skill, and it's flexible in terms of its purpose. So if you want to learn something new, for example, I draw, but I want to learn how to paint, then CFA would be good for that, would help with that. You can polish something that you already know. I draw, but I want to draw better also. You can make a bridge from one area to another. So if somebody wants to kind of pivot from where they are of graphic design or whatever form of design to fine art, that can also, it can work for that as well. You can take, if you're taking up a skill after a long time of not practicing it. For example, I went 10 years without drawing and now I want to start doing it again. The CFA would be good to kind of refresh my memory. The CFA also helps people who are interested in taking an MFA but aren't quite ready in terms of skill or portfolio. Like that. So some examples of a CFA program: the New York Academy of Art has a CFA program. The Florence Academy of Art has a certificate, and so does the Art Students League. There's going to be links for that in the description. Ateliers. This is another path to learning art. We've mentioned self-directed study and the CFA. Now we're going to talk about ateliers. An atelier originally is a Renaissance thing. An atelier is an artist's workshop, and it's their studio, and they would have apprentices. They would take in apprentices, and then the apprentice would just be the charge of that artist for I don't know how fucking long, until that apprentice becomes an artist themselves. In the present, there's, as far as I know, almost basically only Odd Nerdrum does that style of you go live with him in his studio, work in his studio, and learn from him style, like in the Renaissance. But now it's, in general, they're more like a modern school. You focus on skill development with critiques from the teachers, and there's like scheduled learning on a schedule for a specific amount of time. It's more about, the atelier is more about methodology and more about the method of teaching. It's very hands-on and practical. A little more traditional in the sense that there's a lot of cast drawing, a lot of drawing from life, painting from life. There's the steps of first drawing the cast, then drawing the figure, then painting. Always from life. Examples, again, the most traditional one that's pretty popular is Studying with Odd Nerdrum. After that, you have Grand Central Atelier, Charles Cecil Studios, Studio in Caminati as ateliers. After that, you can also learn how to make work taking independent classes, workshops, or continuing education. It's just one class that may take a few weeks, or sometimes even just a weekend. Not attached to anything else, semi-independent study. Classes don't derive any certification. Examples, the New York Academy has a selection of that. Florence Academy of Art, Art Students League, Studio in Caminati have workshops and, independent classes like that. There's also individual artists who teach just on their own. And some examples of these, again, these are going to be in the video description. You have Dan Thompson, Alexander Sukas, Roberta Osti, Patrick Okrasinski, and John Darley. These are people who have workshops or classes, and I think Alexander Sukas teaches privately, although I don't know if it's online or what. And also, these are, like, I haven't taken classes with all of these people or all of these schools, all right? I went to the New York Academy of Art for the master's degree. I've taken classes with Dan Thompson and Roberta Osti. I've had several of these people on my podcast, but I haven't taken classes with them, just so you know. Okay, so these are some ways that you can learn to make art. You don't need a degree to make art. Next, do you want to teach art? Okay, now, what are some possible ways for teaching art? You can teach independently. YouTube, Patreon, Skillshare, you don't need a degree for that. You can be self-taught and want to branch out and teach this way. You can teach in an atelier. It seems pretty common that if you take an atelier program, if you do the atelier program or you take a bunch of courses, you can then teach at the atelier or be a guest artist. You can teach at the New York Academy of Art by proposing a class to continuing studies. You can teaching at Charles Cecil Studios. It looks like students often continue to teach after they went through the program themselves. It just hang back to, perhaps similar to the Atelier system in a way. You kind of stay there to continue to teach and help the newer people when they come in. Teaching at colleges or universities, and this is where MFAs sometimes are preferred or mandatory. It depends on the requirement of the school. So, what is an MFA? That stands for Master of Fine Arts. It usually takes between 2 or 3 years. The curriculum is skill and production leaning, ends with a thesis. There's some history, critique, and theory talking about one's work and other people's work, some art business preparation, applying to galleries, grants, etc., some pedagogical preparation. So the MFA is good for, like, again, if you want to teach art, I would say that's kind of almost the purpose of it, other than maybe honing your skill more still, like if it's a hands-on thing. Some examples of schools where an MFA for teaching is preferred or mandatory. So I looked these up after I had the AI Claude, help me out a little bit with some schools that kind of require the MFA in their, when they have their openings. So after he gave me the list of schools, I went to each website and in order to corroborate the information. So, okay, let's start with that. Let's continue with that. Rhode Island School of Design. From what I was able to find, the MFA for their teaching faculty is mandatory. So if you were interested in teaching at the Rhode Island School of Design, you would need an MFA. School of the Art Institute of Chicago. That one said preferred in its in their requirements for their teaching faculty. So preferred MFA sometimes, and I mean, I'm not talking specifically about this school, but occasionally, a place might be okay, a school might be okay with something equivalent to an MFA, or like a body of work or some kind of like a dissertation type thing that is equivalent to the work of an MFA. And that person might be accepted as a teacher, as faculty. So that's kind of what it means. There might be like exceptional people who don't have, somebody who is self-taught that just has a lot of experience as an artist might be okay applying, and they might be accepted as well. So then that's kind of what it means when it says preferred. Parsons School of Design at the New School, preferred MFA. Savannah College of Art and Design, mandatory, according to what I could see on their website. Massachusetts College of Art and Design, mandatory as well. So, for now, or thus far, from the things that we have looked at, a degree is sometimes mandatory and other times preferred when you want a university level or college level teach art. But so far, for other things, for learning art and appreciating art, I mean, for making art yourself, no need. And even then, you can still teach art and not require a master's, any kind of art degree if you're doing it by yourself, or on certain, like really a lot of other schools. Okay, so next possible area of involvement with art. Showing in a gallery or showing in a gallery. You want to show your work. I'm an artist already. I want to show my work. You don't need a degree for this. You could show your work in the following ways. You could show your work in group shows. And you can find you can find shows in which to display your work through open calls, through friends, through invitation. A great resource for open calls is NYFA.org. That stands for New York Foundation for the Arts. You go there, you go to, I always forget the order. You go to nyfa.org and you go to opportunities. That's on the top, the drop down, one of the tab things there. Opportunities for artists, and you can find all of the open calls there. There's a bunch of open calls. You can find calls for grants, for residencies, for fellowships, for shows, for just all the stuff with all kinds of different things. Open calls for just for women, open calls for high school students only, all kinds of no fees, with a fee, with a submission fee, with a hanging fee, just all kinds of stuff. Make sure you do your research. There's also CAFE, which stands for callforentry.org, in which you can also find lots of open calls. These are just two considerable resources for open calls if you want to just show your work in a group show. But you can also find on these websites open calls for curatorial proposals or solo show open calls as well, if you're into that. If you're looking to organize a show, a single person show for yourself. Next up, we have gallery representation. So, the way that gallerists kind of will tell you, and I know this from lectures that I listened to when I was at the New York Academy, is forming a relationship with the gallery by going. So first of all, the very first thing you should do is to see whether the gallery, just to check whether the gallery, the work that the gallery shows is similar to your work at all. That's the first thing you want to do. And then if they do, and you're interested in the gallery, then you kind of start going to the shows, go to the openings and mingle with people and, try to figure out if you can see who the owner of the gallery is or who the curator of the gallery is. And, at some point, you get introduced to them, to the owner or the curator or whatever, and then you make your way in there that way. Also, again, if you want to show in this gallery in particular, whatever gallery it may be, go to their website, and a lot of the times galleries will just have a submission page where they specify what kind of information they consider for their shows. Also, Christy Gordon has a method, and I'm going to link to her Instagram post. It's a reel, but still, it's not that complicated. What she has done, what she suggests, one of the ways at least possible for forming a relationship with a gallery is that you don't have to go in the opening necessarily. You just go to the show, the gallery that you're interested in. You look around, actually look at the work, and then you head on over to whoever is sitting at the reception, and then you're like, hey, I really like this thing that this artist is doing. That's really cool. And then she doesn't specify this necessarily, but she just says you segue into, are you guys accepting submissions at the time? Or what kind of information do you want in the submissions from your artists, the artists who want to show in this gallery? Something like that. I'm going to link to that in the description because, again, there's going to be a bunch of links in the description, okay? So yeah, those are some possible ways of getting gallery representation if you are in the I want to show my art section, okay? Finally, curating art shows. You want to curate an art show. Out of these, curating a museum art show might require an MFA. So if the Met or MoMA, I think you would find this more at MoMA. MoMA wants to curate a show of whatever, so they might look for somebody with a degree in art, a terminal degree, which is what the MFA is, to get that person to curate that show. There's that. Otherwise, like I said earlier, there are open calls for show proposals by curators. So a gallery can put out an open call for a curator that wants to propose a solo show, that has a project for a solo show. And so if you're that person, then you can go to that gallery with your proposal, tell them like, I want to show this with these many works or whatever, I don't know, whatever they want. You can start your own curated art shows in your living room or in your studio. There is this artist guy on the YouTube that I saw once. I don't remember his name, so that link will not be in the description because I don't remember his name. But he said that he started out with having a yearly open studio in his studio. And then that's kind of how he started getting traction, and that's cool. And that's another idea for curating show. You can just curate your own work and show your work. You can also curate pop-up art shows in a rented space. There's a organization, it's a .org, so I guess so, yes, called Chashama, where they have different places, different real estate spaces throughout Manhattan that are empty, and so people apply for those spaces to be able to show their work or to do whatever, for renting the space out for working. But what applies to us is showing art. So they have that where you can apply for them and rent, and I forgot what you have to pay. You have to pay some kind of a deposit, I think. I don't remember. But it's on the website, which I'm going to link. So those are some ways of getting yourself to curate an art show. You don't really need a degree for that either. So I hope that these sections answer some questions, at least, about whether you really need an art degree or not to be involved with art. Because, I mean, the answer really is that you don't need an art degree, except for some very, very limited specific situations. Like if you want to teach at universities, specifically in some of them, and if you want to curate a show about bricks that you found in the street at MoMA. That's it. So, and well, I guess maybe to be fair, the reason that I went to the New York Academy of Art to get an MFA was because I looked on the website and I loved the classes that they were teaching, and I wanted a master's degree. So those things overlapped, and that's why I went there. I didn't know that an MFA was generally for teaching. I have taught and I enjoyed it, but I don't bend over, like that wasn't what I was thinking of when I was looking for that. I was just looking of studying more. And anyway, I did. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, okay. I hope you found this helpful. Please let me know if you did find it helpful. What kind of involvement do you have with art? What kind of involvement with art are you interested in? I also hope that the links I'm going to put that are in the description will be helpful to you. Please support my channel with liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and looking at the other links in the video description. That would be helpful. Thank you again, and have a lovely day.